Are you real? What's up, family? Her clothes are on the bed. What's up, family? Happy Friday. Going live randomly before Dream and I go live today at 9:30 over on his channel for Dreams and Desires. And I'm coming on to give a quick message right now regarding this lunar eclipse that is happening today. And I just want to give y'all the download that I received last night in my dream, so that you all could be prepared and so that you all can receive the gift that comes from this very powerful celestial energy. Okay. So if you don't know, the lunar eclipse is happening. The lunar eclipse is happening today, and this is when the sun and the moon become in alignment, right? And with it being the lunar, you automatically know we're dealing with emotion, okay? You already know we're dealing with the water element. We already know we're dealing with the subconscious mind, okay? And the reason why this is so important right now is because I had a dream last night. And when I have dreams like this, it's important for me to share it, right? Like I said in my last, in one of the recent Instagram reels that I did, like God did not stop giving premonitions and visions and prophetic messages to those people in the Bible, okay? To Noah, to Abraham, Ezekiel, Isaac. God didn't stop giving that insight there, right? People still are receiving visions, insight, premonitions, downloads, and channels. And what I'm about to share with y'all today, some of you may be experiencing this, right? So what I saw in my dream is that me and my mother, and my grandmother, so the women, the mother, the maid, and the crone, again, very lunar energy. We were driving or walking or something like that. We were moving somewhere. We were transforming. We were going somewhere. And we saw a family. We saw a family get into some sort of like car accident where their car had went into a lake or something like that. And so we're like, okay, I wonder if they were able to get out, so on and so forth. And so me and my mother, being the powerful spiritual women we are, we go down into the lake. There's like a little bridge by the lake. We go down to that bridge and we're looking at the lake, and we're trying to assess and we're trying to observe what happened to this family. Could they get out? Could they get set free? We're just trying to understand what happened. And so we're talking and we're looking, and we're paying attention to the water. We're paying attention to how fast the water is moving. We're paying attention to like the waves and the ripples in this lake. We're paying attention to all of those things. And as my mother and I are talking about it, she said, we say to each other basically, you know, they probably got out the car or whatever, but the waves are moving too fast, or the flow of that lake or that river, whatever it was, body of water, was moving too fast, and it kind of took them. And immediately in my dream, I got the download that right now, especially with this lunar eclipse, there's so many people who are feeling disconnected, who are feeling like they have no control, who are being swept away essentially by the waves of emotion. And these waves of emotion are amplified because we are still in a Mercury retrograde time. And so these waves of emotions and feelings are amplified, and many people are taking this to mean that you are under a spiritual attack, when in reality, you are being asked the question of, what are you giving more of your attention to, right? Are you paying attention to the things that actually serve you, uplift you, help you to grow, help you to heal, help you to transform? So continuing the dream, me and my mother were looking at this bridge and we're like, okay, clearly they got swept away in the water. Clearly the water was moving too fast. They couldn't get their grounding. There are so many people like you know, in this space and time right now. You're trying to find your grounding. You're trying to get rooted. You're trying to not be so moved by the external world and by these rushes of water, by these rushes of emotion. And it can be hard, right? And you can lose yourself, and you can become overwhelmed with the emotion and overwhelmed with the thoughts. And this creates anxiety and fear and feeling stuck and feeling like, you know, you're not living in alignment and divinely connected to your God, divine, sacred self, okay? And so me and my mother, we walk away from the bridge and we go back up to like the road because we're like, okay, Grandma, we're about to go. And as we're walking up the road, I see clear as day, there's these jars. This is just, you know, dreams be very symbolic and they be something else, right? But there's these jars and they're letters on the jars. And I'm like, Mom, look at this. This is like some sort of word puzzle, right? It was like a scrambled up, jumbled up words. And as I moved the words around, the word intuition was made out of those scrambled letters. And so that was the sign and symbol that said, okay, as we are in this phase, as we're in this lunar eclipse energy, as we are in this Mercury retrograde energy, as some of you are getting swept away by the emotion and by all of the feelings and all of the stuff, as that is happening, the number one thing that you can rely on in this time to support you in remaining grounded and being able to observe and recognize how these moments actually serve your ultimate good, your highest good, the number one thing you can do is lean into your intuition. And I was just like, oh, wow. Okay, Spirit. But then right after that, I received the download that I got to share with you that many people don't feel connected to their intuition. They don't know what their intuition sounds like. They're confused about it. They're like, what is it? How does it sound? How do I know? So on and so forth. And the issue with that, I'm going to tell you how to solve that right now. If you feel like you're disconnected from your intuition and you're just like everywhere and you don't have that grounding, you don't have that footing, and you're just being pushed by the tide, pushed by the water, pushed by the emotion, pushed by some of those subconscious things that are revealing themselves to you, because that is happening. A lot of your old belief systems, a lot of those traumas, a lot of that unresolved stuff, it's showing up right now. That's the beauty of Mercury retrograde. It allows you to reflect on your past. It allows you to reflect on who you are, who you used to be, in the direction that you're moving in. That's what it allows you to do. But when those thoughts and those emotions come up, you can feel like, oh, here I go again. I'm doing the same old thing. Oh, why do I keep on repeating this cycle? Why do I keep on not living from that place of power, living from who I know I'm meant to be? Why do I keep on backtracking to that old state of being? And it's that type of mentality that will have you lose yourself, lose where you are going, lose where you are meant to be. It is that type of mentality that will cause you to get swept away. Okay? It's that type of energy that will cause you to get swept away. So Spirit was like, you all need to hear this, right? You all need to hear this. You are never disconnected from your intuition. You're never disconnected from your higher self. You're never disconnected from God. It is absolutely impossible to be disconnected from you. What actually happens is you're just giving more attention. The sun is like coming up, so it just keeps changing. I don't know what angle. Anywho's. You can never be disconnected from your sacred self. You can never be disconnected from spirit. You can never be disconnected from God. Like, it's impossible, because God is you. You are it. You can never be disconnected from yourself. What happens is you give more attention to the fear than you give attention to the faith. And that's why you feel like, what the hell am I doing? It's because you're leaning more into the ego and who you think you're supposed to be and what you want to do. And you just get overwhelmed with the world, essentially. You get overwhelmed with the world, and it lessens, lowers the voice of your intuition. It lowers the voice of spirit, and that's what actually happens. And so right now, in order to change that and shift that, family, what has to happen is stop getting your answers about your life from the internet. Stop getting directions on how to get to a certain location. Stop going to Google Maps to know how to get to a certain location. Try to figure it out yourself. Most of the places that you are frequenting, most of the places that you are going to throughout your life, throughout your day-to-day life, you already know how to get there. But we've become so dependent on the world to give us guidance about our lives that sooner or later we rely on the world for everything. If you're feeling sensations in your body, tingling, burning, whatever, stop going to Google and saying, what does this symptom mean? Stop. Even when it comes down to your meditation. Some of you, like, guided meditations are great, but some of you probably need to just meditate to meditation music, and you formulate and allow your intuition to speak to you and guide you and tell you what you need. But most people have gotten so many answers about their life and who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do from everything outside of them that this blocks them from building a deep trust with their intuition. And that's what's actually happening. So, and here's something that you have to understand. Something that you have to understand is that the more you trust your intuition and lean into that internal guidance, the more you trust it, the stronger the voice becomes. The stronger the voice becomes, the more deeply connected you feel to your higher self, to God, the Holy Spirit, whatever word you want to use. Okay? So you have to invest in that. And I just gave you some simple things to do. Stop going to Google Maps. Stop Googling your zodiac signs, even though I love those things too. I find those things very interesting as well. But any questions you may have about where you are, what's happening in your being, and what it is you're needing, you can access it within yourself. You just have to know the right questions to ask yourself to solicit, right, and to bring about that answer. So the energy right now, family, is really asking us to not get swept away in the emotions, not get swept away in the chaos, not allow all of the subconscious things that is being revealed to you. Do not allow it to take you out of your vibration. Do not allow it to take you out of the vision and the focus that you have for your life. But understand, these are just moments for you to reflect on how far you've come. And if you allow yourself to get engulfed in the emotion, then you take yourself back 10, 15 steps in your spiritual evolution and in your spiritual growth, okay? So you need your intuition right now. You need to heighten it. You need to do very specific things that are going to help you to feel more in tune and more connected with that sacred voice, all right? The more you trust, the louder it gets. The less you trust, the quieter it gets. That's just how it works, okay? Let me get off here. I got to get these kids ready for school. Join Dream and I live on his page today for Dreams and Desires at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm over here like making kids lunch and everything. But also for the month of May, Spirit gave me this to do this. For the month of May, I am going to do 30-minute consultations at a super discounted rate. And so if you're on my email list, or if you're on DreamWise's email list, I'm going to send out that email so that I let you know about it. But I'm going to start doing 30-minute consultations for the entire month of May at a very discounted rate. And I'm going to do that so that I can help men and women start to reconnect to that sacred voice, so that you can start moving from a space of power and get really grounded in where you need to be going right now, okay? Because we're still in that spring season, so it's all about grounding and connecting, so that when that summertime comes, you're ready to shine, all right? That's my message for y'all. If it resonates, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all at 9:30 on Dreams and Desires. Peace.